morning, Scotland. Good morning, social media land. I hope you are well. It is Monday, the 24th of February, 2025. Are the SNP compromised by the British state? Are Alapa filled with toxic individuals? Are the Greens too woke for some people? Listen, I could go on pointing out the base beliefs that appear to cause the independence movement to turn on one another. But is it worth it? Actually, it probably is, so I will. Are Believe in Scotland grifters that only work with the SNP? Are Liberation Scot an unelected organisation without a mandate from the Scottish people? Are there behaviours of nepotism and gatekeeping amongst all the different groups of activists that believe in independence? These are some of the tame phrases and arguments that we pro-Scottish, pro-independence activists turn on one another every day. And I just do not get why. I have seen clever artisans write anti-SNP songs and poems. I have seen ordinary men and women use language to describe their brothers and sisters in arms that would make a sailor blush. And in doing this, by turning on one another instead of focusing on the cause, you do not expand the movement, you exclude it from those who actually may want to be part of it. How much longer are we going to waste time? How many more years are we going to sit arguing about party loyalty, political grudges and personal egos while Scotland remains under Westminster control? Independence is not a hobby. It's not a fan club where we back our favourite party like a football team. It's not an exercise in proving who has the perfect vision for Scotland. It's about one thing: getting Scotland into a position where the next generation can make decisions for Scotland unimpeded by the exploitation of the Union. Because that's all independence is, the right to decide, nothing more, nothing less. Yet instead of fighting to make that happen, too many people in this movement would rather argue amongst themselves. Too many people would rather prove that they are right about the SNP being compromised, right about Alapa being toxic, arguing that it is their way or the highway. If you are not with me, then you're against me. Does this actually help persuade undecided voters into the cause? Does it help persuade the younger generations who are remarkably pro-Scottish to campaign with us actively? No, it does not. The reality is independence is not going to be handed to us, and we aren't getting any closer by shouting each other on social media or fighting about party politics, all the while Westminster tightens its grip. So are you actually fighting for independence, or are you just fighting for your own flawed belief and need to blame someone else for the lack of progress? Have you thought that the lack of progress comes from you not fighting for the bigger picture? People talk about the need for unity in the independence movement, but what exactly are we uniting for? Independence isn't the final destination, it's just the door that we need to open to allow Scotland to shape its own future. The next generation of Scots will decide what kind of country Scotland becomes, but we are the ones who need to win them that opportunity. We aren't uniting for one party, one leader, or one political ideology. We're uniting for one simple idea: that decisions about Scotland should be made in Scotland by the people who live here and not in Westminster. And that's it. That's the cause. Not SNP bad, not Alapa is toxic, not I'm going to exact revenge on those who caused harm to Alex Salmond's reputation. If we can't even unite for the simplicity of the cause, what chance do we have of persuading enough people that independence is the way? What example are we setting if all we do is bicker amongst ourselves? Independence isn't about proving who is right. It's about proving that Scotland should have the right to decide. We either fight for that together or we let the next generation inherit the cause, where it will become even more difficult to win against a British state that is becoming more and more right-wing. You know, if arguing amongst ourselves could win independence, then Scotland would have left the UK years ago, but that's not how it works. Yet every day we recognise behaviours in our brothers and sisters who are wasting their energy attacking each other. The result? Westminster wins while we tear each other apart. We know that Westminster are the fools, but they are laughing at you right now, knowing that as long as we are looking inward to find someone to blame, then we're not looking at them. Let's be clear, you don't have to like every pro-independence party. You don't have to agree with every activist, but you do have to ask yourself, is your time better spent arguing with someone who already wants independence, or persuading someone who doesn't know yet? Because that's the real fight. The only way independence happens is if we convince enough people who are undecided that Scotland should be independent. You know, you already know this, but it appears not to be good enough for many of you. Every time an undecided voter sees infighting, it confirms their doubts and erodes any inspiration that they may have to campaign for an independent Scotland. Why would they trust us to win the liberty of our nation if we can't even work together to take steps forward positively for that common cause? I am not prepared to have my sons and daughters inherit a cause that has to be ironed flat of the seams and creases of disunity to fight a British state that is learning every day how to manipulate us into fighting each other while eroding our culture and stealing our wealth and future. I am not prepared to fight for a new political entity to gain credibility to govern Holyrood for Scotland, even under the restraint of devolution, because that would take years. I am not prepared to waste time mocking the institutions of independence when we the people should be using them as a beacon and a rallying point. If you're sitting there watching me express my feelings and you find it impossible to even consider voting for the SNP or voting for Alapa or attending a Believe in Scotland march or rally, then you best understand that the problem does not lie with the wider cause. You're very much entitled to your opinions, but by sowing discord, and even inadvertently, you're acting as an unwitting ally to those who oppose our independence. Undermining fellow advocates only serves to fracture our unity and stall our progress. Public infighting portrays us as disorganised and weak, deterring potential supporters. But again, I will say, you are very much entitled to your opinions. In 2026, we have an opportunity to rise above all of this and strengthen the political pillar of independence. Will you campaign positively for a pro-Scottish government, one which will install as many SNP MSPs in government benches, then strategically vote in the regional vote to install Alapa or Green MSPs to inherit the majority of seats in the opposition benches? Are you willing to get over yourself and not care about policy or political party rhetoric and consider having a broader population of pro-Scottish MSPs? Because let's face it, having more indie MSPs representing the entire movement in Holyrood is far more productive for our cause. By attacking allies, you're eroding the foundation of the movement you profess to support. 2026 is not about policy, it's about Scotland. So can you amend your thinking to consider the bigger picture by the time you stand in that polling booth alone? I truly hope you can.
We march from are the same. The banner is clear, the future that's ours, but it's fractured with fear. Petty games and pride, tearing apart the dream of a nation, the hope in our hearts. Get over yourselves, you're dragging us down, squalling like children while the world spins around. The light of our freedom is fading away. Get over yourselves, stop standing in the way. Get over yourselves, stop standing in the way. Teams and tribes, it's a desperate show. The fire's still burning, but it flickers too slow. While Westminster grins, holding the chains, we bicker and barter, and nothing remains. Get over yourselves, you're dragging us down, squalling like children while the world spins around. The light of our freedom is fading away. Get over yourselves, stop standing in the way. Get over yourselves, stop standing in the way. The cause is too great, the time's slipping fast. We're stuck in the present, but the future's our past. If we don't unite, this chance will be gone. A fractured movement can never be strong. Get over yourselves, you're dragging us down, squalling like children while the world spins around. The light of our freedom is fading away. Get over yourselves, stop standing in the way. Get over yourselves, stop standing in the way. Years from now, when the dust has all cleared and independence finally appears, you'll look back in shame at the time that we lost. The price of your pride wasn't worth the cost. Get over yourselves, it's time to unite. The dream's within reach if we stand up and fight. Get over yourselves, no more delay. Together we rise or together we stay. Get over yourselves, get over yourselves. You're dragging us down, squalling like children while the world spins around. The light